escape it.
Get ready for combat. Get ready for combat. Yeah. The Combat Jack Radio Show. Stand up.
Testing. Hey, yo, internets. You're listening to the Combat Jack Show podcast. I'm your host, Combat Jack. Let's just jump into it. King, what's up, man?
I'm good, brother.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's happening in the world this week, man?
Yo.
Hold up. Before we jump into contemporary issues, man, shout out to Adam22 and Lena. That was a great episode.
Yes.
And before that, what was that episode before, man? Was it
Steve Lobel?
Steve Lobel.
Yep.
Shout out to Steve Lobel. And before that was the Game is a Game episode.
Game is a Game.
Internets, I'm kind of losing my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, and King and I have had some conversations off air about like how we're just being a lot more open in front of these hot mics. How you feel about that, King? Like
sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't want to give them too much because I don't want to get in trouble.
But how's the reviews been? Like
the reviews are awesome. They love it. They love that banter. They love when you are not in character.
I mean, you know? I'm not in character, but I am in character.
But they want to know, man. They remember we started out the show 7 years ago.
Yes,
it was none of this shit. No interviews. We didn't know how to get.
Wait. Are we now the longest running?
It's the Real is still going. If you want to,
but I mean,
Juan Epstein is still rocking.
Yes. That's true. Shout out to Juan Epstein. Yeah. Shout out to my homie, Rosenberg and Cypher Sound. Shout out to Jeff and Eric. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Combat Jack Show, man. We've been holding y'all down for 7 summers. Yo, if y'all haven't listened, because I got a lot of listeners that listen to the Combat Jack Show, and y'all don't know shit about Mogul, The Life and Death of Chris Lighty, which is the most serious project that we've ever worked on. Please. Like fuck with the Combat Jack Show. Go to iTunes or Apple Podcasts. Yep. Rate, subscribe, and comment. But please, like this is a big undertaking. It took us over a year and a half to talk about the life and death of Chris Lighty. The best work out there. We were ranked the number 2 podcast out of over 350,000 podcasts on Apple Podcasts.
Clap it up.
We're coming towards the end of the year. I guarantee you we're going to be on a lot of, top 10, best podcasts of 2017. Like fuck with us, man, because season 2 is coming. Yeah. And it's going to be bigger and better. And, just fuck with us, man. So, man. So this is a kind of like a different phase that we're going through. We're still going to do, amazing interviews with legends. We got a legend in the building right now. Yep. But at the same time, you're going to get a lot of more of us, man, in your ear, man. Or, you know what I'm saying? So rock with us, man. What we got to talk about? ESPN. Yo, listen, ESPN.
I'm so disappointed.
ESPN, listen. Like, I understand y'all got to cover your ass. I've worked in corporate America, worked in Viacom, I've worked at Citigroup. I understand when something goes out or when y'all feel, quote unquote, that somebody that works for you goes rogue, y'all have to kind of like corral the horses and shit like that. But this is a very fucking pivotal time, man. Like shout out to the sister, Jamel Hill. Jamel Hill's been on the show. Very, very, very talented woman. Yep. Very talented individual, man. Like she brings so much light to ESPN. Y'all motherfuckers knew what y'all were doing when y'all decided to make ESPN more diverse and more inclusive. Shout out to Bomani. Shout out to Michael Smith. Shout out to all these people that bring Stephen A. Smith. Shout out to all these people, man, that bring so much flavor and context and diversity and differences of opinions on that platform. We live in an age, man. Like I hate when I see like comments talking about leave politics out of sports, but how the fuck can you leave politics out of sports when sports has always been steeped in politics? Like we're talking about Jack Johnson. We're talking about, like fucking, when baseball excluded, the colors. Like it's always been steeped in politics. So how is it now that we finally have prominent voices that you motherfuckers, I'm not talking to you ESPN, but the supporters of ESPN that say this is just sports. Like that shit, like it's only sports when we talk. Get the fuck out of here. ESPN, I'm very disappointed in you. We're at this very pivotal time. Mm-hmm. I don't think that Jamel said anything that wasn't factual. If you look at the man's actions, the man has supported or has been very silent and quiet about, racist organizations in this country. For you to silence her, what I'm saying? For you to try to silence her and try to say that, her actions were inappropriate. How dare you? How the fuck dare you? And now we're getting like a report that the White House wants her to be fired. Like ESPN, if you fire fucking Jamel Hill, we fucking
That's
dare you.
That's gonna be a problem.
You thought that Colin Kaepernick fucking changed or shook shit up with his protest, we will protest you. Don't fucking do this, man. Don't fucking do this. Either you're with us or you're you're against us.
You know, I think a lot of people were quietly not pleased that SC6 even was created.
I mean, a lot of people weren't.
At that time slot, prime time, 6 o'clock daily. You got two melanated individuals, you know, Michael Smith, Jamel Hill.
Very contemporary, very well-rounded.
Yeah, very progressive.
Very, very steeped in the sport. I mean, their knowledge of sports is unparalleled, as well as their knowledge and appreciation of pop culture and everything that constitutes pop culture. That's why you brought them there. Like, I understand that change is difficult, and ESPN, like you, or, you know, there's a portion of you guys that are used to being like the old boys network, but shit is changing, man. So are you with the change or are you against it? Don't do that to us, man. Don't do that to America. If like you really care about this shit, like speak out against the injustices that you see that's very clear. So fuck that ESPN. This is nobody else in the room. Me, Reggie Yosei, Combat Jack. I fucking dare you to fire Jamel. I fucking dare you. Let's go. Is that too heavy?
It's a lot, man.
Yo, shout out to Tito's. Shout out to Tito's in the building. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just finished it's been 10 years since I've been working on my dragon sleeve on my arm. I just left a 3-hour tattoo session, man. And that shit had me in shock. So I had to go to the Tito's. Tito's is always there for me, like on my loneliest.
You gonna get your chest tatted?
No, I'm not getting the shirt off? No. Listen, on my coldest, loneliest nights, Tito's has been there for me. You know what I'm saying? Like right now that I'm in pain and shock and we got this legend in the building, Tito's is here for me, just kind of like calming my nerves. When you're in shock, man, you can't really flow fluidly. King, you know that?
Dude, I don't, that's intense.
It is very intense.
But I think once you get to that point, you might as well do the other arm though.
No, fuck that.
Get like a kiss tattoo on your neck.
No, I'm still on the fence. I'm still a conservative cat in that aspect. So the neck tattoos, I'm not with that. Listen, anything else, man? Shout out to Rode Microphone, the best microphone for anybody in the podcasting industry. Yeah. Shout out to them for supporting the Combat Jack Show.
Yes. And in October, we'll be in Atlanta for A3C.
Oh, Festival. A3C. How many years has it been since we've been carrying A3C?
5.
5 years? No, I'm saying like, listen, man, we like 5 years.
Talk about it.
5 years ago when we went to A3C.
What up, Mike?
Like, shout out to Mike. Shout out to everybody that supported us.
Ryan,
at A3C.
What up, man?
Shout out Ryan. Like, we bought amazing talent.
2 Chainz.
We bought 2 Chainz.
Maceo
from De La Soul.
Yes.
Bun B.
Killer Mike.
Drama. DJ Drama.
The mayor of Cape Town, South Africa.
Yes.
Patricia DeLeo, right.
Like the mayor of Cape Town. Like we have done
Zaytoven.
We've done like the Bad Boy producer, like roundtable with the entire Bad Boy production. Hitmen. Like, we've been doing a lot for A3C, and I want to say, like, I'm so appreciative that in 2017, like, no shots, like, this is, like, y'all are really, like, extending so much hospitality to us.
Yes.
Like, I can't wait to come down. We have the best time. I think my favorite time throughout the entire year is Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and A3C.
Yes, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? No order. You know, in no particular order, but I can't wait till we touch down in A3C. This year we're having a one-on-one with legendary Steve Rifkin. I'm saying who's changed the game.
Yes. And we're doing our first rap show.
We have a rap show.
Yeah. Can't announce the guest yet because
we can't.
Next week we could announce the headline.
Is Fly God
allegedly
a Fly God
in the machine.
Yo, Buffalo, what up, man?
So, you know,
I love them niggas, man. Them niggas is you know what I'm saying? I'm an old dude, man. Nothing really excites me in hip hop anymore.
Dude.
I still love the culture, but them dudes? Yo, man, you up on West Side Gun and Conway? Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Shady Records.
Shout out to Shady Records.
And then, you know, we kind of extended some of this stuff to the loudspeaker. You know, Adam is going to be out the interview in A-Track.
Adam 22.
Yes. Man. No Jumper.
Yeah, No Jumper.
Angela Rye.
Yes.
She's out there.
Wait. I saw something in the gossip section this week that Angela Rye is now dating Common. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that.
Common, motherfucker.
That dude,
like Common, like you've been on the show. I love you, man. What the fuck?
The glow.
You got the glow, man. You know, ever since you walked out that Badu box, nigga.
His roster is amazing. Serena or Venus, I can't remember.
Serena, what's Serena?
Erica. Who else?
Angela? I mean, listen, Common, man, your glow is amazing, man. Continue, y'all. Black Lives Matter, Common. Black Lives Matter.
Yo, one thing's for certain, he get all the woke chicks though. The super woke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that conversation in the crib must be like, you know, sharp as
heated. Heated. Like, I wonder which one is calling the other one. Like, you ain't really about this, nigga. You ain't about this revolution, nigga. Yo, Angela Rye, what up, man?
Yeah.
Like her show has been a beacon on the Loudspeakers Network.
Yeah.
Continue doing your thing, man. We welcome you.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my best moments was interviewing you on the show, and I love what you're doing in this podcast space. What you're doing for social justice, man. You know what I'm saying? Continue doing it. Can we go?
Oh, and shout out to our boy Ja. He just announced that he's on the Ed Lover Morning Show.
Ja from Bossa?
Yes.
He's officially on radio?
Yes.
Damn.
With Ed Lover and Moni Love.
Yo, shout out to Ja, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ja, man. Salutes, man. Can't wait to link up with you when we hit A3C in Atlanta.
Yes.
You know, today's guest, man, like, you know, I've said this before. This is his second time on the podcast. I've interviewed him several times, but like, you know, this man, particularly to me, like, I think he's like one of the greatest that's ever touched this genre of hip hop. He's taken it beyond just like, you know what I'm saying, to like, you know what I'm saying, opening it up to, pardon me, to the diaspora. He got
a one-on-one Gucci shoes on right now.
Yeah, he got a one-on-one. Those are one-on-one, man?
We don't play.
We don't play, man.
And in Creole, we said no pas jouer.
Pas jouer, man. But I remember back in the day, man, like just being a little bit older, man, growing up in Brooklyn in the 70s and the 80s, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Talk about persecution. Talk about a witch hunt. You know what I'm saying? It was not cool to be Haitian American, particularly in New York City or the tri-state area. You know, like the coolest cats were Jamaican. So cats would test us, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's up? You Jamaican? I would never jump on the Jamaican like ticket. Probably, nah, man, what I want? You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of like fake it. But when this cat and his collective dropped in the mid 90s, man, like it really opened up the doors, man. We're not that far away from this past Labor Day, man. And like one of the most dominant forces, you know, on Eastern Parkway every year now has been the Haitian presence, man. And I can't thank this man and his collective, you know, enough for what they've done, you know what I'm saying, for the Haitian spirit and what they've done for me individually, man, just to really like do full circle in terms of like self-pride, self-love, you know what I'm saying? Without further ado, let's welcome to the Combat Jack Show, the Haitian Elvis. That's, you know what I'm saying? The one and only Mr. Wyclef Jean.
Sac Fet. Everybody be like Sac Passe. We got to shift them now.
Yo, Sac Fet.
Sac Fet was really good.
Yo, Clef, man, what's up, man?
Man, listen, slow motion. We just getting back from Germany.
Okay.
So,
what was going on in Germany, man?
You know, we back at it again on the beat. The Carnival 3.
Carnival 3, man, is out now, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy because Will came with me, you know, one of my boys from the label.
Yes, sir.
And I guess like he never moved like with me internationally. So it was just crazy to see, you know, the love for the Germans, for the Haitians.
Right.
And I think he even was overwhelmed. You know what I mean?
Will, how was it, man? It was crazy. Yeah. Like, I can't even imagine traveling and I'm doing you short, man, because not only are you one of the greatest hip hop artists of all time, but you're one of the greatest international artists of all time. I can't even imagine, well, how it is traveling with this crazy Haitian man.
Yeah.
What did he introduce you to, man? Like, what's the most unique thing? And just speak up because you don't have a mic in front of you or grab King's mic. Yeah. What's the most unique thing that Wyclef introduced you to, man?
Walking in the club VIP style. So we went through the back door, down like a stairwell, through like the bar, through like another hallway, through another area into this private.
Through the kitchen, you seen shit frying and shit?
Yeah, pretty much.
You gotta go through the kitchen.
You gotta go through the kitchen, man.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
They had this private VIP room and you couldn't really see anything in the back. It was crazy. Let you smoke in there and all that kind of stuff. So we was turning up. It was dope.
Yo, Clef, man, congratulations on the Carnival 3, man.
Thank you.
One of my
feels good.
The Carnival, you know, I always say this. I'm not trying to be controversial. I've said this on Twitter. I've said this on the Combat Jack Show. People want to crucify me, but then I test them to go compare albums. And it's not fair to compare the albums. It's not fair. But then again, it is fair because of the history. I play in 2017 The Miseducation, and I played Carnival. And I feel in 2017 that the Carnival is a much more superior album that withstood the test of time. Now people are like, yo, Combat, listen, shut the fuck up and play both albums back to back.
I think it's a matter of the comparison probably wasn't. They both fit.
No,
in the ecosystem.
It's really sauce, right? It depends on what sauce you like, right?
Pesto or tomato?
Yeah. Hot sauce, pickles. So for me though, it's funny because like coming in the game, man, I was like 15, 16 years old. And I tell people it's funny because they had me on Unsung the other day. They did a whole thing, and one of the people that talked was Curtis Blow.
Right.
And Curtis Blow was like, yeah, I met this young kid, you know, he was rapping in like 5 languages and he was barely 15 years old. I came from Haiti when I was 10, dog.
Right.
By the time I was 15, I met Curtis Blow just to show you how the hustle of the Haitian was moving. So for me, the Fugees was always a futuristic thing, right? Because when we was coming in, we was rhyming and we was singing.
Yes.
And we was playing instruments. We looked like aliens to everybody. Like, think about it. So we would be opening up for Biggie. Everyone you could think of, they'd be like, yo, man, trust me. You don't want to play. This group is not no ordinary group. But just for me, like, so I understand when we put Carnival and Miseducation, like I said, it's 2 different sources. It all depends on like the source and the relevancy. And today in 2017, it's like everything that we was talking about with the whole refugee thing and that whole idea of like the policies, all of that. If you pay close attention to the Carnival, Pablo Diablo, it's almost like to me, like that whole policy music, like now you go back and you listen to the Carnival with the world that you in today, you're going to hear something totally different.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure you would say that also, man, because some people assume that Miseducation, the shots at you too.
Well, I mean, just think about this,
yes,
right?
Sir.
For me, I always say, damn, they be giving Clef too much credit, right? But for me, I grew up listening to like Marvin Gaye, Prince, and different people. So what they say you don't kiss and tell, but the stories is already the story.
Right.
And I never take back the talk, right? At the end of the day, when I was 19, I was 18, I was 20, I was 21, you know, with my Wallabies and my skinny jeans and my gazelles, I was the wrong one to romp with, you know, original player. So if you look at the Mac cover, that's who I thought I was. But I think, like, if you look through my career, the idea of evolution is what's important. So, like, you know, you have the Miseducation. Then you have Someone Please Call 911. So it's so funny, right? All of this music, right? I call it truth music, right? It's hard to get rid of the Fugees, right?
You cannot get rid of the Fugees.
It's like,
that's blasphemy. That's fake news, man.
Yeah, I remember being in the hood, right? This was me in the hood. So I was that dude in the hood. You got a problem with your girl. You know, I'm talking about the biggest killers, man. They got a problem with the girl. Yo, Bregin, I sing a line for my girl, you know. And then they put on the cassette. And now I got to be the one that sings that line.
Yo, what would you sing? Like say for example.
So you know how example, like 911, someone please call now. So
yes,
it'd be like schemes like that, but you would be directing it to the girl. So there was always something, and they'd be like, yo, end it with the sound. And I'd be like, eh. They'd be like, all right, we good.
That was one of your hustles? You was like the fucking rap
I don't
Cyrano the Bergerac? Like you was fucking
like blend tapes. I was straight up, yo, you have a problem with your girl, you know. And then so think about it. So when you hear records like Two Wrongs or 911 or Gone to November, I just sing relationships.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So it gets me in trouble sometimes, right? But the truth has to be said. Cause when we look back at records, like whether if it's Marvin Gaye or Stevie, we be like, oh, we see what they was going through when they wrote that.
Definitely Marvin Gaye, man. Definitely Stevie too, man. Carnival 3, man. This is your first solo complete album in 8 years.
Yeah, it feel great.
8 is a very magical number, man. Why 8 years?
I ain't even plan it like this.
Right.
Cause the carnivals was every 10 years. And this is actually the third carnival. So this is the trilogy. This is the finished chapter.
So this is it. No more carnivals?
This is it for Carnival.
No Carnival 18, my nigga?
No. This last carnival 2017 it had to be done because the kids that are producing on this carnival were 12 years old when the carnival came out.
Right.
So like
which is interestingly enough the same age as your daughter, right?
That's right.
Right.
So the kids that are like Super Mario that did the record Wyclef Jean,
yes, sir.
That young thug named after me, or the records for Drake, or crews like the Knox. They come in the studio like, yo, Unc, you know, we trying to, you know, we trying to recreate Staying Alive, but different. So it was so amazing to see these young kids coming in with their favorite joint from the carnival. And so that frequency was built. I remember like being in the studio with Michael Jackson and one of the things I learned from Michael Jackson.
That's just casually, just, you know, hey, man. This is...
Right, the MJ. But one of the things I learned from MJ.
I was in the studio with Michael, you know, Jackson. You know him?
Yeah. We was in the studio with MJ. But the funny thing is.
How the fuck was that, P?
What was crazy about it was.
How you not intimidated?
Nah, I'm gonna tell you.
You're from fucking Haiti, man. You used to eat dirt. My nigga. How you not? I mean, that's actual factual, right?
Yeah.
Red dirt, right?
Yeah. I
Minerals and shit.
Mineral dirt. But dig, right? You have to understand. So for me, this is what makes us solid. Like, you know what I mean? To come from nothing and turn it into some. So by the time I got to Marlboro Projects in Coney Island and Brooklyn, one television, right, that, you know, your dad would control with the hanger as the antenna. So
white knob or black?
White.
Ooh, it's official.
You see what I'm saying? And then the hot tracks used to come on. And hot tracks used to come on. So for me,
Carlos de Jesus was
facts,
dude. I was on an episode of that shit.
Yo, that's
crazy, that's how old I was on an episode. Yo, Justine's, it was one of them clubs in Hell's Kitchen. I was in there and they were filming, and I, like, you know, back then, of course, you saw yourself on TV on Hot Tracks, nigga.
That was the original YouTube, man. That was the original YouTube.
Yo, so anyway, man, so
for me, watching that and like then seeing Michael Jackson, right, first time on MTV, and I was always like the dude who's doing the music for him. So, and this is something like people don't know, right? So by the time I was 15, we did an off-Broadway play, right? Where, and this is not, most people don't talk about this, right? So we're going to get it out here. So we were inspired by Shakespeare. There's a play, Shakespeare, which is called The Twelfth Night. And the Twelfth Night got characters like, you know, Olivia, Sebastian, and all of that. Yo, we did a off-Broadway musical where we took Shakespeare and we put it in a hip-hop form. Man.
Who's we? Like, who put that together?
Man, what was crazy about it, my man who does Sleep No More created the play.
Okay.
But Wyclef was in the play. Lisa Carson was in the play. MC Light was in the play.
Damn.
Lauryn Hill was in the play. Darren, who choreographs, who became the biggest choreographer for NSYNC, all of this came from this play. So I remember seeing Quincy Jones. And I just went up
in
to
the audience.
Yeah, because he came to see the play at that time. And I was like, yo, I said, Q, I'm going to see you one day. And he was like, yo, you just getting started. Yo, I'm 15. I don't even know. So for me,
how was your English back then? Was your English
No. I don't speak English too well. You understand? Hey, Quincy Jones, how you doing? Hey, Quincy, my name Wyclef Jean. I come from Kwadebuke. You know? I do music like you. I hear it in my head, then I record it. You know? So for me, fast forward, being in the studio with MJ was insane because one of the things that I love was when Quincy and Michael Jackson got together in the studio, there was a frequency that was created. That could have been only with them two because Q was from that jazz background. He had that understanding. So fast forward 2017.
Hancock and Miles and all of that, man.
Fast forward 2017. In high school, all my awards is from jazz. I'm a crazy jazz major. So for me to be a jazz major and now getting in the studio with Super Mario, the Knox and all of that, put those two frequencies together. So for me, this is different because it sounds like 1997 meets 2017.
Right.
And you could hear the sonic. Right. So that's what makes this exciting for me, you know?
Yo, Internet, support for today's episode of the Combat Jack Show comes from Sonos. Listen, I've been rocking with Sonos for a couple of years right now, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like living in a multi-floored building. You know, there's music playing downstairs. There's music playing upstairs. My kids will be playing music on my Sonos system, or I have my own playlist. And it's just amazing when you just want to blast from every room, every floor in the building, whatever your situation may be, man. You could just sync that shit and rock it out, man. Listen, everything sounds better on Playbase. Movies, sports, TV shows, gaming. Playbase adds dynamic, pulse-pounding sound to whatever's playing on your TV. The truth is, most TVs end up on stands and on furniture, and that's exactly what Playbase was created for. Its low-profile design practically disappears beneath your TV, yet it fills your entire viewing room with epic home theater audio. Start with Playbase. Add a sub and a pair of Play Ones for a full surround sound system. You could even send TV or music sound around your entire home. Like I just said, just add Sonos smart speakers in other rooms and they'll wirelessly sync to your home theater from your phone. And now internet's for real. Don't ever say I didn't give you shit. Now, for the first time ever, Sonos is offering listeners of the Combat Jack Show 10% off one order of $2,500 or less for any product on Sonos.com. This offer is available for a limited time only and cannot be combined with other discounts or promotions. Listen, just use the promo code JACK10. That's JACK10 at Sonos.com to receive this exclusive offer. And now back to the show. You know, one of the things that I really appreciated in the past year and a half, man, was you know, this enigma, you know, and it's not necessarily an enigma to the young cats, but to some of the older cats. A lot of cats are really, really, really still on the fence about Young Thug. You know what I'm saying? But when I press play on his last album, on Jeffrey, and I've said this a lot in public, when I press play on Jeffrey, all I heard was Wyclef Jean influences. Is that factual?
Yeah, well, once again, right?
Like, did he study you?
Young Thug did the mixtape on the 5 people that most influenced him, right? The same way I was influenced by Marley. There's stuff that Thugger played me in the studio. No one.
We're talking about Marley Marl or Bob Marley?
No, by Bob Marley.
Right.
Yo, listen, there's stuff that Thugger played me in the studio with him that the human ear has not heard yet. Where I'd be like, yo, I could see the Wyclef frequency.
It's so obvious.
I saw that with his first records.
Right.
Like, I can get that because I'm a melody dude.
Right.
So when I hear like Young Thug or Fetty Wap, or Future, there's these melodies that they come in and I can relate to that. Cause for me, that's all like the Carnival. So of course it's a natural influence, but it works both ways. Cause when I'm watching this and I'm seeing how they doing it, I'm like, hold up. Their cadence is different. What kind of cadence? Now I learned their cadence. Well, you see what I'm saying? Now it makes me double dangerous.
Right.
Because I understand the trap cadence and then I'm from the 90s. So for me, it's always a learning curve, but I think both generations should constantly learn from each other. It's important.
You know, from somebody growing up in Haiti, man, how does it feel in 2017 clearly hearing your influence in hip hop in a form of hip hop that from our generation, a lot of us can't still wrap our hands or head around?
Family, man, all I could do is say, man, before me, there was Macazole, there was Haitian Jack, there was Jimmy Henchman.
Shout out to
Jimmy.
Man. Yes, sir.
There was all of them. So at the end of the day, when I hear a kid going Zoe Pound, for example, and I was in the
Herbie. Shout out to Herbie too, man.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Shout out to Herbie. Herbie Lovebug,
original. Herbie Lovebug, Sakafet.
Sakafet, monsieur.
So way before me, Kango UTFO.
Yes, sir.
So for me, just being like that young blood, I was just like, yo, at the end of the day, watching Snoop and Dr. Dre and how proud they was of where they was from, I said, I'm going to make where we come from and everybody going to be proud of where we come from because we come from that fly place.
But where do you get the audacity, man? Because you moved here, like I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I'm Haitian American, but you are a fucking immigrant. You came here with the fucking crazy accent. Like, who gave you the fucking audacity to fucking represent Haiti, my dude?
I'm not going to even lie to you, Combat. It was going to either be that or I was going to be the most infamous gangster you ever seen. I was really there on top of the roof in Marlboro Projects. I couldn't speak English. I looked at my brother. My mom was on welfare. We looked at our both in the eye. I said in Creole,
Yeah.
Translation, what are we doing here, man? What you gonna be? He looked at me and said, man, I'm avocat. He said, yo, I'm gonna be a lawyer. I said, I'll be my bon gangster. I said, I'm gonna be a gangster. I can't see my mama living like that. So for me, at the end of the day, I say this story and it's real. When I say my mom took a gun out of my hand and replaced it with a guitar,
right.
It ain't just words.
Right.
I'm saying like for real. So at the end of the day, I just felt like if I got saved like that, when they went for my cousin on Erasmus, if he caught the bullet and he not here, I just felt like I was here for a greater purpose.
Right.
And for me, so it's like, it's bigger than that. It's like the idea of will, the idea of wanting to do, right? You got two people who say they do and people who do. And if you really do, that means you're going to get tested, right? So for me, it's like before my name, I told you many names. So I remember being with Macazole when people talking about Zopound. Man, we in Miami and I used to do the Carnival every year, an event. That's the first time I had Usher speaking Creole. And then the rumor started spreading.
Right. He's not Haitian?
Nah,
he's not Haitian.
I started that rumor.
You enhanced and fucked his life up at the same time.
Yeah, so what I did was, I said, yo, he was going out in Carnival. And keep in mind, this like when this young Usher, that be pop locking and grabbing that guitar with the one chair.
Sitting on Puffy's car hood and shit?
With that one chair.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Ush going out and Ush like, yo, what could I say? I said, yo, when you get out there, tell him Sak Basi na Boule. And so keep in mind, it's like, what, 10, 15 years ago, dudes ain't Usher out of nowhere started speaking Creole. Then they was like, yo, that dude Usher's Haitian. But Mac Zoe was in the crowd with me. And Mac Zoe, we chilling in the back. And Mac was like, yo, you know, it's my dream just to see this Zoe movement in music form. And so to me,
that's a big dream. Like, and I'm not trying to exclude anybody that's not from the Haitian lineage, but somebody that grew up in the church, like waiting for a day when we would be represented. That's huge.
Yeah. And he said it. So when I'm on FaceTime with Kodak Black, and I'm speaking to Kodak Black mama, and she gets on, and she's like, oh, kilo Calvin, when are you coming to see us? It's like, so for me, at the end of the day, I feel like the work that we was supposed to do, the idea of like putting that flag up at the Grammys when nobody knew that it was, I feel like that it wasn't in vain, and that was part of what I was supposed to do, you know?
Yo, I'm very curious, man, who was Wyclef Jean in Haiti? 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Who the fuck were you, man?
Yo, in Haiti, the village that we live in, we don't have much, right? So I was the leader of the town, right? I had to create things for the kids. So I was very creative. So for example, we had a scheme called I'm Going to America. So whenever I see the kids get real sad, you know what I mean? And we lack of food, this is something I create, right? So we going to America. We basically lived in a town with a cemetery, right? So what I do is I bring the donkey up. And on the donkey, there'd be like 20 kids, you know, they'd be sad. And I'd be like, okay, we going to America today. Who going to America? They'd be like, okay, Wyclef, you going to America? I get on the donkey. And as I'm leaving, they all telling me what they want from America. And the donkey literally goes around exactly. The donkey goes around the cemetery and come back. And the excitement and the joy now in these kids' faces, they like, yo, you know what I mean? So we playing, okay, what did you want? Yo, you know, I wanted a bicycle. I'm giving them an invisible bicycle. At the time, this is the most amazing bicycle. So for me as a youth, I always remember being a leader. But what was crazy was the one time that I played I'm Going to America and I ain't come back around that cemetery.
You didn't come back with the donkey?
You feel me?
Whose donkey was it, man?
That was my aunt's donkey.
Okay, so you brought the donkey back home.
No, funny, like years later when I bring my wife back all to the village and my great aunt like, yo, where's the donkey? And my girl is like, yo, that ain't the same donkey, is it? I said, no, that'd be impossible. That donkey done died a long time ago.
Yo, Clef, you come here, man, and you hear the horror stories, you know. First of all, man, shout out to you, particularly in the times that we live in right now, man. Like you exemplify what immigration is. American immigration is. Like, we all have our dreams. We all displace and lose everything and come here and start from scratch. And then we create and we add to richness, the richness that is American culture. You get here. It's cold, my nigga. You're fucking by Coney Island. It's even colder. Like, I know shit was hard in Haiti, but when you get here, you're like, did we fuck up? This is New York.
You hit that snow. I don't think people know the reality of what it's like to see snow for the first time.
Like, you get happy until you realize this shit is freezing.
Yeah, I mean, but I can't front. I saw opportunity. I was different. Like, when I came, I went to a store called Jackson, Brooklyn. And it's the first thing. I didn't know what the word Jeepers was. I didn't even know what that was. And my dad brings me to Jack's department store. And it's an area with sneakers. And he's like, yo, get 20 pairs of sneakers. And I'm looking and it goes $199. I look at my brother. I say, yo, man, daddy's rich. Like, we getting like sneakers at $200 a pop. He told me to get 20. So I get every color you could think of. Red, green, yellow, all type of sneakers. And yo, I go upon school, a girl, I look, I say, yo, what sneakers are that? That are Jeepers, $1.99. You feel me? Shit. So the Jeepers was $1.99. But where I come from, bro, my one shoe I had to wear for the whole year. So that's why I was saying, I just saw opportunity.
Yo, God bless you though, man, because my cousins would come from Haiti. and they didn't even have sneakers. We'd be playing fucking soccer, and them niggas would kick me in the shins with church shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And after a couple of kicks, I'm like, I'm not fucking with y'all. Y'all can keep the sock. Like
MMA here.
Like, no, the niggas, they had shorts and whatever type of fake athletic gear and fucking church shoes.
Oh, yeah.
That shit will body your shins, dude.
Yeah, dudes play soccer anyway.
Right.
In any form.
But what was the culture shock like, man? When you start living in the hood and you start seeing who's moving things in the hood, who's getting moved, like how hard your parents have to work. What does that do for you, man?
Man, it shifts you quick.
Right.
The culture shock shifts you. You know what I mean? Like, it was real. I say, to get from one building to the third building, you're going to be part of a gang.
Right.
Like, there's no way you're going to make it to that third building. And you have to get your stripes immediately.
Right.
And I'm the oldest. You feel me? So that means I got to slap box early. I got to know how to.
Fuck that.
It's so funny. The other day.
Fuck that.
The other day, someone saw, I was shooting in one of my videos. I think there's footage of this. I was shooting in Germany, like 5 videos, in line in Puerto Rico. And so I told my man, bring me a blade. And I took the blade and I put the blade in my mouth. And I flipped the blade around in my tongue, under my tongue. And my man was like, yo, man, what the hell? Like, where? I said, dude, when I tell y'all I'm from the grimiest area that you could ever think about, I said, God done lift me up, but I could have been a little hood rat.
Right.
The idea of survival and you being the oldest, right? Because if they mess with your brothers and your sisters, you got to show up, right? And now when you show up, if you the smallest dude looking like Pookie from New Jack, you got to have different ways. So for me, I always think of the idea of like,
what was your different way,
how
man?
the
Like,
hell, like I could be alive.
Yeah, because you're not the biggest cat. Like, how would you fucking make your presence felt?
Fam, you could ask Beast, who was one of my most lethal securities from Brooklyn. And Beast will tell you one of his guards that was 7'1" I took down. Right?
But how?
Man,
dude, he's flipping razors in his mouth. Gem stars and shit.
And you can interview Beast, right? So this is one of the things, right? All right, let me give you one of my Jews, right? So when I was with the Fugees in like 1918 and we was touring like on a tour bus.
What you mean 1918?
Like when I was like 19.
Okay. Oh, when you was okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
going on 20. And then we on this
tour bus. We doing Haitian time travel right now?
We on this.
Tito's.
We on Tito's. Oh yeah, let me get another shot at that Tito's.
Yo,
man.
Tito's,
that
yes.
Tito's is serious.
It's official, B.
Listen, man. Yo, tout moun kap tande la Wyclef, ma bon ti Tito's. No konne one babankou m'kon bre, but this is proper.
Shout out to Babakou, man.
I understood that.
5 étoiles, man.
You're saying it's not Babakou, but it's
5-star.
All right.
Yeah. There you go.
So here's factual check.
Right.
So I've always loved the martial arts in all different forms.
I mean,
right?
Bruce Lee, man.
Kung Fu Joe in the hood, for real. So one of the things in the tour bus I was obsessed with before UFC, and none of that exists, it used to come on a VCR. It was the Gracie family. The Gracie.
The brothers, right? Motherfuckers was undefeated, and they would take motherfuckers down.
How little were they?
Clean.
How little were
Clean. They would not get punched.
That's right. And
they would just they would climb on you like a fucking virus and take your shit down.
There you go. You got Clef. There you go.
So you was like,
I love mixed martial arts. I love grappling. I love all of that.
Where'd you learn that shit?
From a young age, you know what I mean?
Like where? You've in Coney Island projects.
I know, but you grow up past Coney Island, you go to Jersey. In Jersey, you constantly coming back to New York. There's a few senseis in different schools, like where you're trying to adapt and to figure out. So martial arts and gymnastics, I love.
Right.
So naturally adapting to that, you form a way of defending yourself just naturally. And I think from there, and I ain't gonna lie, right? Do I know about tools? Like, yeah. Like, people was like, I remember when the Fugees was coming on, they was like, y'all ain't gonna survive because it's all about gangster rap.
And y'all niggas to the outside eye, y'all niggas are soft. Y'all niggas is dancing boom bop.
Yeah, they was like, they was like, yo, you dudes is soft. Like, this is not what it's about. Like, we about this gangster thing. But I was like, hold up. I'm from the projects like you. Now, I'm probably the most lethalest one out of all of y'all because I'm the usual suspect.
Right.
That means that I'm going to mastermind a plan. So I could come up to you and act like I'm a punk just to shank you.
Right.
So at the end of the day, this was how we did the score. So when someone here ready or not, and they start to hear, now that I escape, sleep, walk, or wake, those who could relate know the world ain't cake. Bars ain't going to get. They start saying, these kids must be for real. So we constantly had to find ourselves, constantly proving ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which was crazy.
Yo, what was the craziest shit that you've been involved in when you were like, oh, this is it. I can't do this shit no more. I really got to put my life in this guitar.
And to what?
Into this guitar, the guitar.
Man, yo, real talk. All right. So real talk, you know what I'm saying? Like Gone to November, you know what I'm saying? I get a pack. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
And I got to bring the money back. You feel me? And I lose, however it goes down, the pack.
You lost 92 bricks?
Hand, right?
You lost 92 bricks, got it all back?
The pack don't come in my hand. Now I got to go back to my cousins, right? And all I remember was, the funniest thing was like, dudes ain't even like, we glad you alive. You ain't get killed. Dudes like, yo, quit bailing over. Where is shit at? Like, you like, yo, at the end of the day, it was funny because.
What'd you say? How'd you get out of that shit? Motherfuckers don't walk out of that shit. You don't walk out of that.
I don't
You gotta get slumped out.
Look, I ain't gonna get slumped out. At the end of the day, I said, look, at the end of the day, you know, there was like 4 dudes on me. So let me go, let me get some more work, do what I gotta do. You know what I mean?
Double.
And I just remember, you know what I mean? Like when I sing that song, Gone to November, my brothers, and I'm talking about like making runs and making movements. And if anyone go, it's like what you said now, anybody who just heard this song, go back and listen to Gone to November. And then you'll be like, oh shit, Clef was talking about making runs. We didn't really get what he was saying. We thought he was talking about a vacation trip. So for me,
it's a hell of a vacation.
I've always believed like music is double entendre, the same way like Jimi Hendrix or them dudes could express themselves. So I consider myself a ghetto poet. You know what I mean?
How hard was it for you, man, to go from 0 to 60 in the music industry? You know what I'm saying? Being one of the, you know, like the least likely to like being like the most successful. And at the same time, letting go of some of your gangster tendencies. Cause I remember reading something years ago about, you know, it's the Fugees. We're doing an interview with Clef and he's holding me at fucking gunpoint. And I'm like, Clef from the Fugees? How hard was it to like reacclimate yourself?
You the McCall Khan bad Jack. You know the true Wyclef, man. Yo, it's so funny.
Was Kevin Powell allegedly or some shit like that? He's like, yo,
look,
I'm sitting here and Wyclef has a gun to my chest.
Statute of limitations is
allegedly. All of this is allegedly.
You know what's funny about what you said is, like I said, at the end of the day, we were young, right? And it's so funny because you know who
Shout out to Kevin Powell, man.
I'm just trying to envision this shit, bro.
Yo, listen, man.
Whoa.
If Kevin Powell is listening, man.
Boom, boom, boom.
I just want you to know nothing but love and respect for you, fam.
I'm sorry. Like,
I'm not admitting anything. I'm just
allegedly.
Yo, but I'm just saying it's nothing but love. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I would say Quincy Jones gave me the call.
What'd he say?
Put me in check.
Because that's right. It's Vibe magazine.
Q always puts you in check.
Allegedly.
Like Q is just a man. Like Quincy at the end of the day is just a culture.
Right.
And he just has a way where he talks to us.
What'd he say to you?
And I mean, you just don't mess it up.
Then Wyclef, what are you doing, man? Like, hey, brother.
You know, and
Wyclef.
Q, you're not more gangster than Quincy.
Right.
Because they really from the era.
Yeah.
Like from the real.
Niggas had to carry switchblades in their church socks.
Like dudes got the trumpet. You know, and a little 22 inside of the trumpet case. Like,
and had access to hitmen, allegedly. allegedly. Yo, wait, allegedly with the whole Kevin, did you put the hammer on the table? Like you said, and he just knew he couldn't leave the room for whatever reason?
No, man. All I could do is, honestly, like I told y'all, at the end of the day, when dude was like, what audacity do you have? All I could do is tell you, like Malcolm X for real. Like not in the words, the play words. You see, that's that same energy that made me know I could become president of Haiti. And that's that energy that made everyone scared of me and say, yo, if he come from that certain DNA, he really ain't gonna put up with that shit.
Yeah, how glad are you that you didn't become president of Haiti, my dude? How glad? Come on, my dude, for real. Politics, Haiti, nigga. For real. Wyclef. How glad are you? Come on.
Now listen.
You listen, you dream those dreams you shot for the fucking moon, but like, my nigga, your life has been so much better without politics in this shit.
Yeah. So
leave that shit to another fucking politician like Sweet Mickey, man.
I feel you. So you asked a deep question. So I was reading Martin Luther King, right? His book, and then I look up to Harry Belafonte. So you gotta have these mentors.
Right.
So before I went in, I sat with Harry. And I was like, Harry Belafonte, this is what I'm thinking about doing. He told me everything that was going to happen.
Right.
I also
you're going to get shot down. You're going to get.
I remember having FaceTime with Nelson Mandela. Fam. 101 with Mandela.
What is that like? Is that like out of body? Like, what is that like?
It was out of body, right? Because
my brother, this is what you will be expecting.
Yeah, this is out of body, right? Because I just had a question. And my question was like, yo, how do you find it in yourself, like, really to forgive? Because really, with Nelson, like, he set up these courts where basically a murderer, you could talk to the person's family you murdered and try to, you know what I mean?
Negotiate?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He had these courts where basically the oppressor could talk to the oppressed. So for me,
and work it out and then be like, let's walk out and let's get a latte.
I just wanted to understand this man because this man is respected by everybody. And like, no one could say one thing bad about this dude.
Right.
At the end of the day. So it's just like spending that little time with him. He just showed me like it was more about love than hate. It was more about peace than war. And I think like that helped me really understand it. At the end of the day, I had to make a decision, right? We all gonna make this split decision in our lives. And we seen it in our career. Some has made the decision and they're locked up right now. As we talking, that has been big superstars. You know, like we're like, yo, dude had 3 records. He was about to be a month. So Q just reminded me like, yo, don't really fuck this up. Just focus on what you have to do, you know?
But getting back to my question, man, aren't you glad you didn't become president of Haiti, my dude? Like, yo, my man's deflection game is superb.
Yes, no. To your point. Yeah. So,
and I know, like, I understand. You read Martin. You spoke to Nelson. Forgiveness. Like, you really going hard with, like, so, dude. Like,
but
there's nothing harder than being a president, and there's nothing harder than being a president of a quote unquote third world country.
But I'll tell you something.
That's had continuous unrest and also outside influence to like inspire the unrest. My nigga.
So once again, we don't do it because it's easy. We do it because it's hard.
Yeah.
And what that means
some hardships we don't need in our lives.
But listen, there's a man who sits there at NASA and says, yo, I'm going to take a man to the moon. It ain't easy.
No, not at all.
At the end of the day, what was my overall mission? Right? Because, so let's say,
it's your motherland.
Let me tell you that the overall mission of what made me run, right? This interview would have been so irrelevant if I didn't run, right?
Of course.
Because at the end of the day, I saw 250,000 of my people under the rubble.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, at the time where I saw 250,000 people under my rubble, in my country, I'm a leader. I didn't see no president at the time.
Yes.
I felt like we was completely absent. So all of the youth that looked up to me, you know what I mean? The majority of the generation, I felt like it was time to step up. Now, whether I was going to win or not, that wasn't my concern. My main concern was to break the cycle.
Yes.
I felt like before I came in the race, we had an old regime that was basically controlling the country. And I felt like, look, at the end of the day, I'd rather young people make mistakes than older people. And
play
what
the
that
same
means,
shenanigans.
Yeah, so I felt like it should have been a mixture. So when you like, yo, aren't you glad you didn't win? I don't even have an opinion of that. What I'm glad
I'm glad you didn't win, man.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
And it's not a bad, like, I'm glad, my nigga. Like, I'm so glad you didn't.
You feel me? Because dealing with a third world country is not a joke. But keep in mind, Martin Luther King marched for legislation. And I promise you, Combat Jack, when he was doing this, he even said to himself, I ain't going to even see this.
Right.
But the next generation is going to see it. So
it's the ultimate sacrifice.
So I had to
you was on that sacrifice.
Man, look.
You was on that sacrifice.
Not even in talk.
Right.
In actuality, I was in that sacrifice hoping now
there's
a 12-year-old Wyclef that's watching this who eventually could be president and change the country around.
So I'm moving all over the place. And that, very well said, sir. Fugees. Y'all blow. Like, you become one of the biggest producers, one of the biggest artists on the planet. You're sitting on at least 25 million. Like around the age of 24, 25. What the fuck does that do from you? Came from Haiti eating fucking red dirt. And I want to get back to the recipe of red dirt before we end this But like now you're like a multimillionaire. What the fuck does that do to you, my man? Most people blow their
always
brains
tell
out.
people, man. I tell people, if you waiting for me to be broke, you gonna wait all your life.
Right.
Like I can have debt and I'll turn the debt to cash.
Right.
That's just how I learn to operate.
Yeah.
How do I make $1 million by the time I'm 20 and I can't even speak English coming to this country? I just saw the idea of opportunity. And keep in mind, why didn't I go bonkers?
Yes.
When I went in a room, I saw the cocaine. I saw the lines of the cocaine, right? Like Hotel California,
yes,
the
sir.
Eagles, right?
Yeah.
So what makes you go, man?
You ain't never fuck with that yay, man?
Huh?
You ain't never fuck with that yay?
No, but think
Ever?
about it though. Huh?
Ever?
No.
Why
But
not?
think about this though.
Why not?
Think about this, right?
Why not?
Because I ain't fuck with the yay, right? Because the block that I'm from, I used to see what the yay would do to people.
You saw what the Rock did, but not the yay.
Saw what the yay did to people.
Right.
The yay would move in the suburbs.
Okay, so when you're a supplier, it's a whole different perspective, right?
So keep in mind, right? The author sees it from the third eye, right? I can look out my window and I see a kid coming to the community. And I'm like, this kid ain't no ordinary kid. What is he doing in our community, right? Now, at the end of the day, whether if it was yay, whether if it was crack, whether if it was pills, right? I couldn't fuck with yay because I just know the outcome. I seen prom queen turn to prom queen.
Oh, that's a horrible thing, man.
Huh?
I've seen that too. That's a horrible thing to see, man.
Yeah, so what? The Rock still plays part of it. So at the end of the day, I didn't fall for any of that because where I came from, it just made me tough.
Right.
Like coming from where we came from, we was like, yo, we came from
That's the
dirt,
beginning
right?
of the ending.
We was eating red dirt.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what was my mission? Get my mom out the projects, buy her a house. We used to be on welfare. So my whole focus game was just different than like, oh, let me just, let me celebrate and let me party till I'm out of my mind. You know what I mean? I partied, bro, till I was out of my mind. I was a drinker.
Right.
In my 20s. Boy, I drink any man under the table. You know what I mean?
Challenge you.
I used to be a drinker.
Do you still drink? I mean, you still have that in your DNA, though?
You see
I mean, we
nice,
Haitian, dude. Like,
well, you see how I'm nice with
King,
you.
tell him.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Well, you see, I'm nice with you right now.
Yes,
I'm like,
show the camera
you gotta be like, yo, Clef is okay. So, but for me, the way that I kept it was, I would just say, I could always hear the voice of my freaking Caribbean parents in the background.
Yes, sir.
Just, they were loud as hell. Like, don't do this, don't do that. Yeah.
Best investment and worst investment.
Worst investment was investing in a television station in Haiti called Telemax.
Uh-huh.
It's like, you put a few millions out, but you got to live in a country. That's what I realized. Right. So being in the country,
get the engineer to fix his mic, man.
So being in the country, it would have made it a better investment. You know what I mean? So that was the worst investment for me.
Right.
Investing
but you
in a
didn't
television
know.
station.
He just needs to. He just needs to.
I didn't know, but that still was the worst investment.
But you don't regret it because you went in wanting to do better with the infrastructure of your country. One of the best things in infrastructure in any country is strong media, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Right. And it cost me a pretty penny.
Right.
And in the process, I wasn't living in Haiti.
Right.
So that was the worst.
Sounds like, dude, as much as your heart has been in the right place, and I'm with you, man, like, it sounds like your attachment, your love, your loyalty to Haiti has been a gift and a curse. Yes or no?
That's right. It's like Sharon Stone in Casino. You feel me? Like, she's bad, right? But you gonna
Haiti
love her.
Chérie.
Yeah.
Haiti Chérie.
So So that's been some of my worst investments.
Best investment. Young kid coming in the game today. He gets a couple of million. What's the best investment? Clef did that, so hopefully you could do that.
The best investment is this. Your publishing catalog.
Yes.
It's important that you kids understand. When I was doing Killing Me Softly with the Fugees and we blew up, the first thing in my head was like, I was like, holy shit. I just made somebody $40 to $50 million just on a publishing catalog. Yes. So I was like, yo,
this is not even my money. I just got paid to pay somebody
that's
to
right,
fucking
because
dance this shit.
You're doing it over.
Yeah.
So I would say my best investment is investing in myself and understanding, yo, you got to write these songs so that even when you're not here no longer, like your daughter,
It's your kids.
She could live on Maria Maria.
Yes.
She can live on Hips Don't Lie. Like, so if Khaled samples Maria Maria, Rihanna, that's still. So for me, I always tell kids,
It's been a good year for you, right?
Yeah. So it's been a great year for me. So the best investment in the game, right, for everyone that's listening is producers really invest in yourself and be the brain, not just the talent. Be the brain.
Intellectual property.
You
know, you're a philanthropist, man. You're involved in a lot of issues, man. One of the things that I heard that was the most disturbing to me at the top of the year was when Trump went full ape on this Muslim ban. All of a sudden, I'm getting calls from like my aunties and my uncles talking about, yo, the ICE agents is like going heavy on Haitian immigrants. And I know you've been an advocate of that recently. Like, I think up until
TPS,
up to 50,000 undocumented Haitians have been deported.
And I just got back from Canada too. They have them in the dome in Canada.
Right.
Yeah,
like talk about how real that is, because a lot of people, I think, you know, and you know, I don't know how you feel. We'll get into this, but part of me is like, yo, this Muslim ban thing is what it is on its surface, but it's also like a distraction for that net to go out. Because even before that thing, even when everybody was like, fuck the Muslim ban, Haitians were getting deported. Can we talk about that reality, man?
Okay, so a few things I learned in politics in the time that I went. One is called the temperature. The temperature basically is like when they feel the crowd out and they're filling you out to try to get away with one thing, but they literally have like 7 or 8 policies that they're going to put in place based on how you react.
Yeah, it's not a one-trick pony.
That's right. So to the Muslim ban, I was like, no, hell no. We're not going for that because we have Muslim brothers and sisters, same way we have Jewish brothers and sisters, Haitian brothers. Because to me, it was like, okay, at the end of the day, if you do a Muslim ban, next thing you're going to say is, you know what, that TPS law where I said that I was going to keep this amount of Haitians here, let's just send them back. So at the end of the day, it wasn't something that I supported, and it's never something that I'm going to support because I am the child of an immigrant, you know?
Well, you are an immigrant. You are an immigrant.
You know what? It's so funny.
You are a fucking immigrant.
I'm coming here,
which is more amazing to me. I'm the child of an immigrant. You're a fucking immigrant.
I wish I had my goddamn green card on me right now. But I always have my green card.
You're a citizen, right?
That's right. But I have my no.
Slow down, Combat. ICE coming up in here.
Hey, ICE, yo.
No. ICE, listen.
Decisions.
ICE ain't gonna take Clef. ICE ain't taking Clef because why?
You paid enough taxes, my dude.
I paid enough taxes and I'm a permanent resident.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, though, I'm a green card holder. I am this dream. So when you say you're going to ship 800,000 people back, right?
Crazy.
You could have been shipping me back at the end of the day, right? Because if we was born right now, I could have been one of the kids basically getting shipped back.
One of the dreamers,
right now.
DACA, man.
I was a dreamer.
Right.
I came here. I was a straight up dreamer. So for me, at the end of the day, we haven't broken rules. So it's important.
No, as a matter of fact, it's the opposite. You've enhanced the culture of what this American fabric is.
But when we talk about America as a whole, and so I learned these constitutions. It said these United States of America, what makes us incredible is the fact that we immigrants. This is what makes America
Everybody's
sexy.
Immigrant except the fucking natives, man. Shout out to everybody that's fucking suffered at that boot of fucking American colonialism. But like everybody's a fucking immigrant in this country.
That's right.
Everyone.
That's right. Except the Indians.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, for me, it's like, it's crazy because I just look at it like, what happens if I was born right now?
Oh my God.
And I was a dreamer.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
you'd be fucking shook.
All I would like the administration to
You'd be focused on the guitar.
We wouldn't. When you sending back,
we know Fugees.
You might be sending the next Steve Jobs back.
Yes.
Right? You might be
the next cure for cancer.
The next cure for cancer. And because we all, as immigrants, we invest in our time and invest in our intellect to learn. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that is something that the Congress should definitely reconsider.
Well, that's why a lot of these corporations are going ape shit about it, because they acknowledge that same reality.
Facts.
Like, the economy, new technologies, Now,
I understand when it comes to separating personal from professional. And you've had personal interaction with the president. But at the same time, you've been really careful in terms of like condemning or like even saying, let's be careful about what we say about Donald Trump. Like, what is your
I've been overall, be careful what you say about everybody.
But let's talk about, like, particularly with regard to this, like you're saying, you know, at any given moment, like if you're creative, you're outspoken, you're living this American dream, at any moment you could fuck it up.
Yeah.
By talking against the powers that be right now.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm not for that.
Right.
Right. And
not
I say,
for what?
I'm anybody who's abusive power, starting with Donald Trump on down to the Congress, I ain't for that.
So are we witnessing abusive power?
Of course, at times through executive orders.
I mean, come on, man. You grew up in the Papa and Baby Doc eras.
At times through executive order, you could feel like the pen is being pushed 100%. Yes.
9 months and he's written a whole gang of executive orders.
Once he got elected, I was like, he's not my president. But there's some of us that have been like, yo, let's give him a chance. And you're one of those people. Like, let's give him a chance. Why?
Well, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And I didn't agree with Dave Chappelle because we can be here to agree
of course, agree to disagree, right? Now, what did I say? I said that at the end of the day, right? When anything that we're against, we're going to talk about.
Right.
So, white supremacists. That idea, we ban that. We don't support that. And the idea of abusive power through any president, we ain't gonna go for that. What I said was a president's term is 4 years.
Yes, sir.
And what happens is there was a blog on Donald Trump called The Clown Genius, right? So this is so important for people to understand. So in Roman times, what the Caesar would do is the Caesar knew the public loved games. So they would distract you in the arena. And the more that they distract you in the arena, the more that they would reign. So I just felt like I was saying, so it wasn't like I'm careful about what I said about Donald Trump. I said that y'all giving the dude too much props in the room. And while this is going on, like the art of war, there's a whole new war being built within the next 4 years. So as we worried about that, the president's already on his next fundraiser on how the Republican Party will continue for the next 4 years. So my thing was like, let's make sure that if you don't agree with something, march, do protests. And all I was saying, Jack, I was like, when the celebrities show up, man, I got to curse for a second. Just know what the fuck y'all talking about. Because the people that do the marches are basically risking their lives. And they love for us celebrities to show up. So when we show up, let's just make sure that we know the policies, because whatever we say, they're going to use for a soundbite and make a movie out of it. That's all I was saying.
Of course. How's married life, man?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
How do you maintain it? Like, how do you keep it so special, man? Like, you've been married since you were like in your early 20s, right?
That's right.
Like how, Sway?
Okay. This is Wyclef with Words of Wisdom.
Dr.
If you have an
Wyclef Jean.
album called The Carnival, you got to spice it up. You feel me? Honesty is very important.
Yeah, but honesty is also the most difficult thing we can do.
That's right, but it's important.
It's important,
so
but
think about this. I just want y'all to know this, right? So as men, right? Now y'all already know. Uncle Clef will be clear with y'all. All you got to do is Google my name and be like, who have Clef cheated on before in his life, right? But at the end of the day,
made
right?
one of the best albums of all time.
Right? At the end of the day, right? Past making these mistakes, I learned the biggest thing was whoever you're going to be with, make sure that the person is a friend first. And when I tell you that, because I watch my family and their relationships and they got married quick, but the people they wasn't friends, right? What does friendship mean? Friendship mean like, yo, you human. That's the first factor
I can tell you
of
anything and you will not fucking judge me.
You human, right?
Right.
So let's play a game after this interview. Now y'all gonna be like, oh man, Clef done got us broken up, right? So
I mean
get with your spouse.
It's already there. So.
Get with your spouse and then sign an agreement, right? Play a game. Sign an agreement says, I am about to tell you a few things. You're not gonna judge me. And I'm not going to judge you. So y'all both sign this paper.
Dope.
And then y'all play, look, right?
It's a social construct.
Yeah, but it turns to fun, right?
Right.
Now, it could turn brutal, but it starts off fun, right? So then you could be like, okay, these are the first three things, right? All that is, right?
So are you allowing the other person to ask you, or you're just...
Both. It should be both verses.
You're sharing this information.
It should be vice versa.
Right. At what point?
And keep in mind, And it's vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
From like, I'm just saying right now, anyone who's listening to this right now.
Right.
So if you like, yo, man, I'm thinking about getting a relationship.
Y'all really got to think about this though. Like, don't let the Combat Jack Sean Clef get you fucked up.
Yeah, but listen to what I'm saying though. Just be like, yo, I'm just saying. It's either you daring. Look, dude, are you daring or not?
Right.
I'm just trying to. You ask me. I'm just giving y'all the truth.
But
you feel me?
At what point are you signing this agreement to share?
Okay, this is
in the beginning, or you already passed go?
Young blood. I would advise you to do it in the beginning.
The beginning is always the best time, though. Trust me.
Right, because
like,
the beginning, you can. At the end of the day, though, I'm at a level where it's like at the end of the day, it's total respect for my wife. Right, I got my daughter who's 12, but we've made mistakes. At the end of the day, I've made mistakes, and I always say behind a man is a rock. And at the end of the day, if I ain't had this woman with me, I probably wouldn't be here today. But I still want y'all to know, right? It's like, it's humans, right? Y'all humans. So I ain't gonna lie to y'all, brothers. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. It's all about what truth you seek. When I go to Abu Dhabi and I go see my Sheikh friends.
It's a whole lot of different truths.
Well, once again, they have 4 wives, right? But I'm there with my one wife.
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, yo, where the other 4? You know, where's your, talking to the sheikh like, yo,
what's your stash?
And I'm like, yo, hold on.
It's not about the shit.
But the sheikh even found that fascinating. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I say, truth is this. If you and your partner come up with some kind of agreement, but y'all come up with it. Like, don't let anybody else be part of it. So at the end of the day, don't break whatever y'all say, okay, we're going to do as a pact.
Right.
Try your best not to.
That's a hell of a game, man.
So I could tell you, you know, what works.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a hell of a game, man.
But it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's everyone that's listening. What are you scared of, dog? What are you scared of? Right now?
Getting that hot pan on your head?
Yeah, but listen.
Like, that's a day, yeah, my nigga, what? Yo, the worst thing you can do.
You ever got a hot?
No, I ducked it, but the worst thing you could do is tell your best friend, wife, lady, lover the truth. And she's like, okay, my nigga, I'm going out for the next month and I'm coming back with some truths, my nigga. Like yeah.
And they just start wailing on
and I'd be like, yo, you know what? You want some truth?
But
Tom,
once again,
Jamel,
oh shit,
Malik,
bodies.
Your brother, like, I got bodies right now, my nigga.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're afraid of.
Yeah.
The most. Fuck the pan. Fuck the drama. The
skeleton.
It's like
dog,
not the skeleton,
especially
not the skeletons, the fresh bodies in the freezer, my nigga. Like,
especially in this
what?
shit that we do, you only dating somebody that's in the industry, and you doing that shit, and she tell you, yo,
you know what?
Your peer,
you know what, Combat?
Your contemporary.
I fucked
like,
a
what?
king.
Who knows?
But once again, right? Once again.
What?
No.
Hold on.
Yo,
what? Nigga, my nigga, what'd you say? Like, shut up.
Yeah, your arm is tore up.
What'd you say?
Yeah, he's on Tito's.
Yo, once
shit.
again, you're going to test it, right?
Yeah.
Right? So the miracles are we born.
Yes,
and that's a goddamn miracle, how we come to be. And when we leave the earth, it's also a miracle. People don't know where we return. That small time
and
in
who
the
you
middle,
return with.
Who you return with.
Yes.
Yo, so fam, the small time in the middle, all I could do is tell you, just try to live your life righteously. And the people that you with, just have fun with them.
Yes, sir.
Bottom line, because it's going to be short.
Yes, sir. Dude, what do you miss most about the Booger Basement, man? What do you miss most about the Fugees, man? What do you miss most about that innocence of that period of your career and your life, man?
Well, really, for me, the Fugees was done in my uncle's basement and Jerry's dad. So I miss my uncle because my uncle, like, my dad had kicked me out the house because my dad was a minister. He didn't want me doing what was called circular music. My uncle took me in. So my uncle was like, he almost was like a DJ because he played everything. Like, we always used to hear everything. So it's like, I miss him. I miss the smell of the food that used to be cooked upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Food. I miss that smell for me.
Julia John John?
Yeah, we had Julia and John John.
We
had the red snapper. We had cornmeal, my moulin. So all of that.
I saw with the red beans.
Yeah, all of that, you know? And I was watching Dr. Dre, the Defiant Ones. Yes, and he was like, yo, you know, rapping is a young man's sport, right? So the thing is, at the end of the day, you get a chance when you're like 18, 19, 20 to just sit in a goddamn room and don't move. Your whole purpose is creating. You know what I mean? So for me, you sort of like miss that natural flow, right? Cause you ain't really worried about much. You feel me? Like Biggie used to say, more money, more problems, right? So the more you get, now you start to have different kind of worries. You know what I'm saying? So I miss that simplicity of life, you know?
Regrets, man. What are your regrets? Particularly with regard to like the empire that you built and the empire that shifted. Like, what are the regrets? We've had Praz on recently, man, and Praz speaks so like, people don't hear Praz speak that often, but when he talked about like the building of the empire, man, it's just like, it was such a magical time. And not that he blames you, but he's like, Clef got a big ego.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I do definitely have a big ego like Muhammad Ali. I still think I'm the best.
Right.
Like you put me in a room, I'm going to rope a dope.
But ego also is a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but think about that though.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the day, right, I can't even say he has a big ego. Right?
You can't say Clef has a big ego.
No, I can't say Prize have a big ego because I'm so not watching his ego, right? So, so for me, at the end of the day, I can't regret anything, right? And I don't regret anything.
Right.
The reason why is because you have two things, right? You have what's called a marathon. And if you fall, you get back up and you keep running again.
No one knows who the winner is until that shit is over.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, this is what I learned from Quincy Jones. The music game is a marathon, right? I wish I can look back right now and say what I'm regretting, but at the end of the day, when people say, yo, this dude has a big ego, I just look at it like it's a race, like we all running. Like there's nothing wrong. I want everybody that's listening, it's okay for you to think you the best, right? At the end of the day, if you don't think that you the best, if you don't think you can solve this NASA,
you're fucked up in the game.
You gotta think, I mean, at the end of the day,
this game, you are fucked up in the game, right?
And someone's like, oh man,
I know I'm the best at what I do. So.
He got. At the end of the day, I fully understand that, right? But when you weigh it, the majority of the reason why I'm at the level that I'm at, right, is because my mama already told me I'm the best. So if my mama told me I'm the best, I'm going to strive to be the best.
Right.
Now, mistakes can be made, right? And in this process, so with the Fuji thing, they'd be like, oh man, if Clef never got into a relationship with Lauren, this would have never happened.
Allegedly.
Right? Allegedly. But it's like, at the end of the day, I can't control time. All I could do is tell you from the Fugees, I did the score. And I have a plan in my head, like every 7 or 8 years is going to be different.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I'm not thinking of, oh man, what the past would be, right? Think about this. If you play basketball and I play ball and we both go on a 101, right? I'm going to think I'm better than you.
As you should.
This is just, so when you like, oh man, this dude thinking he better than me because he got, that's because I know I'm going to whip you. That's what's already in my head. Now, when you come and you like, this dude think he going to whip me, he going to cross on me. Oh, I'm about to cross on this dude. I'm about to teach you. Now, what does that do? That brings competitive competition.
Brings the highest.
So at the end of the day, it brings the highest performance. So for me, I love to perform at the highest level that I could perform in. So it's like the Fugees was incredible. But when I did the Fugees, people was like, okay, well, that's the Fugees. We did Shakira. That turned out incredible.
And hips don't lie.
Hips don't lie. Santana. So for me, I so understand, like another group member would be like, oh man, Clef has the ego. But it's like at the end of the day, the reason that we got to where we got to was maybe because my personality is naturally like that.
Right.
So this is what I don't want anybody to do, right? You have two groups of people. Man, I'm not beating on nobody. I'm not killing nobody. I'm not doing no driveways on nobody.
You didn't let that thing fly? I mean, allegedly, you didn't let that thing fly back in the day, man?
I didn't let the thing fly, right? And all I do is think in a competitive sport, anything that I'm doing, I have to be the best at it.
Yes, sir.
And this is called the World Cup. So at the World Cup, it's time to play soccer. So I can't be like, oh man, here comes Messi. Messi, already thinks in his head he's better than God.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's how we play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I fully understand the frustration of certain people because they would want certain things in the past to keep going.
Of course.
But for me, it's like I'm constantly looking at what's the present and where the future is going.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know that several tracks from the Carnival were supposed to be on the third Fugees album.
I didn't know that either.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that either.
Isn't that what Pras told us recently? Yes.
I think he's going somewhere with that.
Okay.
I didn't know
Let me
either.
shut the fuck up.
No, not at all. Not at all. You can speak. So, once again,
Uh-oh.
I'm an oracle, right? So an oracle thinks out of his head. So if I'm thinking
Don't
of
we all
something,
think about out of our head?
right? Listen, if I'm thinking of something,
Yeah.
it's not everything that I think of Prize is gonna know.
Right.
Right.
It's impossible.
Right.
Me, I painted the Carnival because I wanted to be like Basquiat from Kwadebuke. I was watching the score, and as things were moving and it was flying and I saw the numbers going up, all I could think about was like, damn, once we get to 20 million, it's over. Because I've watched pop groups blow up and sell hundreds of millions of records and don't come back.
Mm.
And I was like, what is going to determine?
Is that the norm? Is that the norm usually as opposed to the exception?
At the time, it
Right.
was to me,
Right.
right? So I was like, yo, at the end of the day, what did I say on the song Zealots? I said, the Carnival, I said, the magazine said the girl should go solo and the guy should stop rapping.
Which is what
Vanish like Menudo.
Which was a lot of people were saying that.
I took it to the heart, but every actor plays his part. As long as someone was listening, I knew it was a start.
Mm.
As long as I had you talking, I knew I could create my Basquiat piece. And I knew the only way that I would have life past the Fugees was I had to become a phenomenal producer and a writer.
Mhm.
So that's always been my focus. So if you're talking about, if you go through the songs that are on the Carnival, right? Just out of my brain, Apocalypse, no. That's Wyclef. Anything can happen, no. Guantanamera, there's no way in hell I would have the Fugees test themselves on a Spanish
record.
track.
Amazing record.
Sans Fizi, which is a record completely in Creole.
Sans Fizi.
I don't know what part of the Fugees that would have been.
Right.
The Carnival with Sweet Mickey, no. So at the end of the day, anyone, by the time you see me at the Grammys with my flag, you already know that album, The Carnival that you got, was an album that even if you wasn't waiting for it, if anything, my truth would be, the crowd wasn't checking for a Wyclef record.
No, we weren't.
The
at the time.
crowd was waiting for either a Fuji record or a Lauryn Hill record.
Yes.
And what Wyclef did was he put Salt in the Game, was like, y'all gonna have to listen
Y'all
to
not
this
gonna
right
forget
now.
about me, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's sort of like what happened in a nutshell,
Right.
you know?
You know, one last question before we jump into our wrap up questions. I didn't know the Fugees had beef with Tupac. Or Tupac had beef with the Fugees.
Who said that?
I read that recently. I read that somewhere. Like Tupac had some kind of like feeling towards y'all.
But who said that, though?
I don't know who said it. I just read it. I read it in the
Look it up
internet
right now.
Man,
earlier
look,
today.
I have love for Tupac.
Everybody has love for Tupac, but there was a time. There was a time. Like Wyclef, my nigga. Listen, I used to work with Bad Boy, and when that nigga was like, "If you fuck with Bad Boy, fuck you too," I was like, "I don't know if I got love for this nigga. That shit hurt."
But at the end of the day, right?
At the end of the day, but before the end of the day,
No, this is important.
yes,
I was in a dressing room with Tupac.
yes.
This is going to be a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Man-
But what
man
happened
conversation.
before that? The
It's
dressing room.
man conversation.
Okay.
So we was.
But what
in
happened
Europe.
before the dressing room, my nigga?
Like, I don't have a clue.
Right. But was there like, oh shit, like Tupac is saying some shit about us?
Well, no, because at the end of the day, right, my circle is Haitian.
Right.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, we Haitian.
Tito's, what up, Tito's? Shout out to Tito's, what up, Artie?
All I could
What
do
up,
is tell
John?
you. All I could do is tell you we Haitian,
Right.
and we got nothing but love for Tupac.
Yes.
It's I said, Mom, God,
Especially in Haiti. Niggas love Tupac and niggas love Biggie.
Well, there's a documentary we did
Cité
called
Soleil.
The Ghost of Cité Soleil.
Yeah, I saw that.
So when you see that, you'll see Tupac
Gang.
and you see Biggie.
Gang.
But once again, it's nothing but love for Tupac
Right.
because all I could do when people be like, yo, Fugees, there was some kind of beef with Tupac or whatever. All I could do is remember, when two men are standing in front and there's no press, there's no hype, there's no media. And they be like, yo, tell me about this thug life, you know?
Right.
Like, okay, Panther, okay. 2 Cent Louverture. It lent a whole nother conversation. And that's the conversation.
And that's not sexy for media.
No. That's not the conversation. It's like, okay.
Panthers like Tupac is never sexy.
Tupac for me,
yeah.
The Tupac that I spoke to in my dressing room, that Tupac was going to be governor. And that Tupac knew that I would run for president because we shared that same space. So that was the conversation.
My nigga, when we get in the Haitian Revolution movie, man, like Danny Glover,
you know
like,
what?
Like, shout out to Danny Glover, man. Like, that shit would be so much greater than fucking Gladiator. That should be so much greater than
all I
Braveheart.
could do is tell you is, every 7 years, I'm on my next scheme. And now I'm on my 7 years now. So this Carnival 3 is the introduction. And this is beautiful because this will be the most creative years in my life, right? And it's like what you said. I learned a lesson about Haiti after doing all the political thing. And you was like, man, nah, Clef, you better off staying in this position. What I learned was within these 7 years, I'm going to do like NASA. You know what I mean? Because we have a joint called Borrowed Time where we sample Jupiter.
It means sample.
Okay, this is important.
What the
okay, I got it.
Just flip shit up.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just flip shit up and then let me know, my nigga. Like, I'm thinking Jupiter is like a fucking.
Okay, this is facts. This is
who's the nigga that did Mardi Gras? Like, who's the nigga that did Take Me to the Mardi Gras? I'm thinking it's like did he have a record? Like, what's the nigga that did take Bob James? I'm thinking Jupiter's a Bob James record. You talking about Jupiter?
Here we go.
Tito, you talking about like
about to break some
Clef,
news.
before you talk about Jupiter, my nigga, for real. We talking about a record or we talking about the celestial body?
Okay, we talking about both.
Okay.
All right. This is where here we go with breaking news. So, you know how people be talking to the past, let's talk about the future. So I get a call from Apple Music, right? And Juno is a shuttle that they've been sending to Jupiter. And what this shuttle do is it records sounds in Jupiter and then basically it takes images, pictures.
Wait, hold on. What kind of sounds are we recording from Jupiter?
Okay, this is important right here. And I don't want anybody to think I'm on a Snoop Kush. Like, I need y'all to follow me.
Man.
Right?
Shout out to Prodigy or RIP
right.
and the whole
RIP family for life.
But let's get into this Jupiter shit.
Right.
Nigga.
So let's just backtrack real quick.
Yeah.
Everybody that's listening, right?
Disclaimer.
It's important to understand.
We're not smoking no weed in here.
I didn't send a man to the moon. Y'all saw that happen already, right? So if anybody follows the NASA project or after this smoke some, follow the project, you will fully get it. So Juno is a shuttle. The shuttle goes to Jupiter. It records sounds from Jupiter and it takes pictures and brings back to Earth, right? Because the whole idea with NASA, it's about intelligence and learning different
exploration.
Yeah.
The next frontier.
So in this process, the scientist was like, well, what happens if you combine the sonics of Jupiter and mix it with the sonics of Earth? Now, all of my producers that's listening to this, in simplicity, think about your native instruments for a second. So you basically go through your native instruments, all right? As producers, all we do is we look for sonics. So we always like, yo, what's the next sound? What's the next sonics? So I was privy to a scientist coming to my studio and saying, Clef, we recruited you because we've watched you and you seem like the Haitian alien. Now we have a solution for you to solve. What? So the solution is, Clef, we about to play you these sounds from NASA. And Clef, keep in mind, some of these sounds, the public have not heard them yet.
So this is top secret.
Right? The public ain't heard them yet. Can you cut this frequency to a song or something you have, right?
Why?
And
like to
send it back
so that we can fix send it back. So nigga, don't send no shit back to Jupiter.
No, you send it back. You might get somebody.
I don't want them niggas coming back.
No. So this could be the first
Those
record.
Are our brothers.
Yeah. So this could be the first record where space meets Earth, right? So this record is called Borrowed Time on the Carnival 3. When you listen to this, I'd advise you take a L. put on your headphones, right?
He's using frequencies from.
That's right, my fam. So what I did was
They're not sending that shit back though.
Send that shit back.
Listen.
No.
Yes.
What if the niggas is aliens like the movie?
These niggas on Jupiter.
If them aliens niggas come here with
It's
them
a combat jack in
them
Jupiter,
niggas
bro.
put the chest bust in your shit.
And he probably drink
And
more
you have a
Tito's than
big
you.
ass chest bust in your chest, hey King. I'm not
Pause.
fucking with that shit, B. I'm sorry, Clef.
No, it's good.
I don't want them niggas coming here, B. If they not niggas.
You gotta embrace them.
If them niggas is fucking reptilian.
Yeah, but they might be cool niggas.
But it's a big might, my nigga.
But I think if you raise up, then they'll give you the whole.
Niggas can't live on Jupiter. Like the temperature, they got the fuck.
They can live here. We can't live
Clef,
there.
you see what you started, my nigga?
I love it, man.
Yo, no. Listen, Jupiter, if you're hearing this right now, stay the fuck where you at. I'm not trying to, I used to be into like fucking Star Trek and all that shit. Niggas, right now I'm a grown ass man. I don't trust y'all niggas. Stay the fuck over there.
Yo, it's the Anunnaki, man.
Yeah.
What?
The Anunnaki.
Yeah, Abunnaki fly. I know they shout out to fucking Young Guru and the whole line. I don't want them niggas with the tails coming.
Yo,
no.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry, dude.
No. It's definitely, I'm loving this, right?
So you combine the frequencies.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, right?
Is it a complete language?
Let me go on some killer priest shit with y'all, because I know how highly intellectual y'all audience is. So on some killer priest shit, right? We all are the best particles of carbon put together.
Of course.
That's all we are, right? And then our soul is like a vibration. It's a light. You know, that's why when that leaves the physical state. So what we did was, I thought about Marvin Gaye, what's going on. I thought about John Lennon, Imagine, and even Bruce Hornsby, that's just the way it is. And was like, what happens if I write a song for the time? So the record Borrowed Time, when you listen to it with the headphones, you basically gonna hear the sonics of Jupiter meeting Earth through my song. And at the end of the day, I felt like Marvin Gaye had what's going on, but this is where I could push the envelope. So sonically now, I could be like, I'm one of the innovators looking into the future that actually took a record and combined space and earth. So that record's called Borrowed Time. When y'all get a chance, producers definitely check it out. But for the public, it's going to be just one of them records. When they hear it, they're going to love it the same way they love the Marvin Gaye was going.
Yo, that's amazing. Congratulations, man. I'm loving that you're pushing the envelope forward.
That's crazy.
I'm hoping you did not invite these niggas to our doorstep.
Why not? Yo, stop being scared, man. They smoke weed, they drink.
What's funny
Carl Sagan. Cosmos.
I don't even know if I could say this because
Carl Sagan said, you do not.
It's Carl Sagan, a black man.
Carl Sagan from the Cosmos. Like Cosmos, like the original. He was like, yo, you do not Carl Sagan. What's the other nigga? The nigga in the wheelchair.
My man that talks through the computer.
Yeah, him.
Yes. What about him?
He was like, yo, do not contact other planets. Cause when them niggas see the shit as fresh meat, it's a wrap. And I believe,
but they know that already.
Who knows that?
Listen,
they know it.
Fam. Once again, right? This is so good that I can
Borrowed Time is an amazing record.
I could give y'all information, right? Because
are they talking black on the other planet?
I got the other side, right?
Are they talking black? What are they saying? Like my niggas, we got you,
fam. All I could do is tell you what some
like, what are they saying?
Some sounded like nigga run, it's the police.
Oh shit.
Yo, let me find out. Like if it's a black planet, my nigga, go ahead. But if it's not, God bless us all.
Yo, but word to my man Richard Branson.
Yes, sir.
Right? So we might not see it. But what's going on right now is other than Earth, they're figuring out different life forms, fam.
Of course.
And keep in mind, my brothers and sisters, when we were young, we used to watch the Jetsons, and them smartphones that we have now, that shit was in the Jetsons.
Yep.
The shit was in Star Trek. So all I want y'all to know is like, hold up. Have somebody been bamboozling us all this time where they give us the information through film, propaganda film, and then 30 years later have you accept what it is? And that's really all I'm saying. So remember the Star Trek and all of that. So
all I remember from Star Trek
before we have life
is when I was a little kid and I didn't know what the hell was going on, and Captain Kirk was smashing green chicks and orange chicks, and I was like, yo, why is the little Woody hard? Because he's smashing all these multicolored chicks. Like
now you got virtual reality. mechanisms where you could, have
Map
sex
that shit out. Listen,
with some digital chick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, listen, Clef, man. Like, yo, man, like, for real, man. NASA and the whole nine. I fucks with you.
It's only when a Haitian alien show up in combat jet, the whole shit turning like some
just stay
Jupiter
calm.
weed
No, I'm
shit.
good.
He's just gonna look
some
at
Jupiter weed.
They're just gonna look in your eyes and make sure you all right.
Yo, Clef, man, I love you, man. Like, I love what you
too,
I love what you did for the culture, man. I love, and it's amazing because when you're in the fucking moment and you send the ripples out, like when you do the fucking score, when you do the carnival, when you do all of this shit, and when you're in the middle, you don't understand what the ripples are. But in 2017, when I'm looking at my kids' generation and fucking Jeffrey and fucking, Kodak Black and just seeing the ripples, man, like, thank you, like, for continuing to push this culture forward, man. I'm saying that personally. Thank you. Carnival 3 is in stores right now. The shit is hot.
It's vibes, man.
Jupiter,
man.
get into that Jupiter record, man.
No, I'm telling you, this shit's called Borrowed Time.
Borrowed Time.
Fuck with it.
I listen to the album, but I'm gonna go back with the
You know how good this shit was? Yeah. You ain't even know it was Jupiter. The aliens already tapped into
don't need to be
man.
known. But you know what? Now you know what I'm saying? Like, ignorance is bliss. But now that I fucking know, I'm gonna listen to the fucking Jupiter niggas reach out to me. Yo, Clef, man. Always, my man. Always success, man. Politics in America?
Well, I mean, we're gonna follow our part. And like, man, honestly, I have a question for y'all. Do y'all have a party right now?
I mean, no. I mean, like, the fucking Dems are like fucking running for the hills.
Do we even have a party
Hillary
right now?
just dropped an amazing book. I gotta buy that shit, but I've been reading the excerpts and it's like, yo, shit is discombobulated. The Republicans are the fucking gladiators. Them niggas don't give a fuck about bloodshed. I don't know what
the fuck. But they don't fuck with each other like that either.
What do you mean?
The Republicans.
But they will fucking put that phalanx. Them niggas will get behind that phalanx and stab everybody, spear everybody else is not with that party. So I don't know what this is, man. I don't know what the fuck. Like, they're saying Trump is independent. There's too much shit going on right now. Yeah.
But
nigga, I need to go to Jupiter.
That's going on. We got to make sure we galvanize as a people
and
just make sure. So if we don't agree with something, we got to make sure we protest and say it right away.
Protest and boycott. Like, it's really that money, man.
Boycott and peaceful.
ESPN, we looking at you, man.
Peaceful.
But like, why do you say
keep it peaceful?
Let me ask you something, man.
Keep it peaceful.
Now, let me ask you, Wyclef.
Yeah.
One of the best images that I've ever looked at in my entire life is the Haitian Revolution, where fucking you got brothers in the fucking uniforms, and it's so graphic. I'm not saying that this is where my heart is, but like that night before when they had the Voodoo fucking ceremony, the chant was coupe tete. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, there's no, like, has there ever been a successful revolution other than Martin Luther King that brought us like, you know what I'm saying? He brought us to 10 yards. Has there ever been a successful revolution in mankind has been peaceful?
Well, it starts off violent. It gets peaceful.
Yes.
There's a few revolutions.
Yes.
We have Martin Luther King.
Yes.
We have Gandhi.
Yes.
We have Mandela.
Yes.
And I could keep going.
But there was a lot of violence.
It doesn't start yet. Once again, it doesn't start off.
Motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Like Mike Tyson said.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're bad until they get punched in the nose.
Yeah. It doesn't start peaceful, right? But from my experience, right, there's kids that are listening, right, to the show. And now when these kids are going out, they're going to go all out. So they're going to go all out for us.
Yes,
like, whatever we say right now, they're going to do. So I just want them to know that violence is the last solution, right? You already know me. Like, they say I'm all about peace while I carry a peace, because I'd be damned if somebody shoot me like they shot Kennedy. So we're not going to say, like, at the end of the day, we're going to be a bliss to violence and putting ourselves in a sheep position.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what we're saying is violence is the last resort.
And violence begets violence.
Right. And then if you can figure it out a peaceful way, then you're going to get to a quicker solution. So we're not saying, like, because we from the era of violence, right? But we see what violence does. So at the end of the day, if we tell people, yo, hit the streets and then 1 million people died of a genocide, then we wouldn't be feeling good about it, right?
Of course.
But peacefully is, and I learned this from Mandela, man. Let me tell you, it's so, like, I was so like, no, man. Like, nah, if somebody, I got to pick up, even Malcolm X. In his last days.
So elevated.
Right? Even in his last days, like, he had one way, then he was like, hold up, man. Like, I'm thinking, so we not saying we punks. We ain't saying we sheeps and we gonna let the wolves eat us. That's not what we saying. But what happens is you have to resort to violence as the last form. Like, you have to find a way to to create a peace treaty to deal with it.
Well said, sir.
Yeah.
Yo, Carnival 3 in stores. Wyclef Jean, the legend. Yo, thank you so much, B.
Love, family.
King.
I'm getting my telescope later.
Man, you
Look
do
at
that.
Jupiter.
You do that when
See what I can see.
Yo, when them niggas,
While
when you
I'm
see them
playing
niggas
Jupiter.
waving you, when you see them niggas waving at you, don't fucking text me, my nigga. Keep that shit to yourself.
Yo, listen.
Ignorance
if you ever
is still
encountered
bliss,
an
man.
alien or something,
That nigga that love that nigga that love to eat steak in the Matrix.
You can't.
That nigga that love to eat steak in the Matrix. That's combat right now.
Nano.
We know too much, man.
Nano.
Yo, shout out to everybody.
Shout out to Robin Williams and the whole nine.
Nano.
Yes, sir. Yo, King.
R.I.P. to Robin Williams.
Yes, sir.
Nano.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. King, where we at, man?
Yo, man. As always, rate, subscribe, comment on iTunes.
Yo, Clef, man, whenever you're in
all
town,
that.
man, just come in, man. I don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
Okay, but real quick,
We might get
off
a
of
second.
camera, there was something about, I heard about something that you're doing where people just show up. I got so much respect for you and love for you. I need that date early. I know y'all do something.
Wyclef Jean Combat Jack Show,
Please,
collabo.
so
Yo,
I would
Peter
love
Oasis,
to.
let's do this, man.
So let's rock out, and then I know y'all do something where it's like combat and friends, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's what that's something that we work.
Yo,
yeah.
Oh shit!
That's
Did I
what
break a
well, that's what-
secret?
No,
we just in the lab
because they
again.
ain't ready.
No
You know what I mean? But
Okay.
that's the concept.
Okay,
What you-
count
what we
count me in early.
Yes.
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna
sir.
show up with an acoustic guitar.
Yes,
and all I
show up
need
with
is a
band.
microphone.
Come in with a
Done.
band.
You
man.
want me to get you with the church band? I got my church
Yes,
band.
please come in with a
Okay,
band.
let's
Shout
rock.
out to Tax.
I got my little boys from Milwaukee. We straight up PKs, preacher kids.
Nice.
So we'll show up and rock
Yo,
for
I
y'all.
love this
For sure.
nigga, man.
For sure.
Clef, man,
Let's do
love
it.
you, man. Internet,
Love.
you know what it is, man. Dream those dreams and then man up, woman up, and live
Live
those
them
dreams. Because a
dreams.
life without dreams is black and white. And the universe flows in Technicolor and surround sound. Zoe Pound, my niggas. Let's go.
Jupiter's in the universe too.
Hey, yo, Internets, thanks again to Sonos for supporting this week's episode of the Combat Jack Show. Movies, sports, TV shows, gaming. Playbase adds dynamic, pulse-pounding sound to whatever's playing on your TV and streams your favorite music when it's off. Yet, its low-profile design practically disappears beneath your TV. And now, for the first time ever, Sonos is offering listeners of the Combat Jack Show 10% off one order of $2,500 or less. Listen, that's 10% off one order of $2,500 or less for any product on Sonos.com. This offer is available for a limited time only and cannot be combined with other discounts or promotions. Stop that scammer mentality, Internets. Just use the promo code JACK10, that's JACK10, at Sonos.com to receive this exclusive offer.
This episode of the Combat Jack Show is produced by Jonathan Mena, executive produced by A. King, and this is an official Loudspeakers Network production. I'm dead. I'm really mad y'all made me do that. I'm so mad right now. Please don't post that anywhere. I'm so mad at y'all. Bop, bop, bop.